What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Keith Anderson, the CEO of Golden Spike. It's a pleasure to have you on today, Keith. How are you doing?
Hey, Aaron, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on. I look forward to answering any questions you might have and sort of explaining our story of Golden Spike.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. So, could you provide me an overview of Golden Spike's current position and the potential opportunities you see for the company in the near future?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think right now, Aaron, we're heading into what I think is a very pivotal and exciting time for Golden Spike. A lot of stuff has led up to where we're at now. But maybe first off, what I do is give a little bit of a quick history of the property and how we got to where we are today. Um, we go back to, I guess it was 2020. We had a company called Golden Horizon, and they picked up these properties off of some prospectors in Newfoundland. And nothing against these prospectors, because I think they're some of the best in the industry by far. But when they were selling us the property, they were telling us that, this is by far our most attractive, exciting package of properties that we have in all of Newfoundland, kind of thing. So I'm going, okay, take that with a grain of salt. They are trying to sell me a property, but whatever. I like their enthusiasm in that. Now go forward a little bit. We sent a geologist out to the property back in, I guess it would have been the fall of 2020, just not long after we had picked up the property. He did the initial work. Was after a couple of weeks, he was back at his house, called me up saying, Keith, we got to get on a Zoom call. Get your geologist from Golden Horizon. You've got to take a look at this stuff. So I'm going, okay, we get on a Zoom call. This guy is so excited. He's jumping up and down. He's showing me these boulders and he's going, look at the mineralization. And I'm going, okay, like I get it. I'm not a geologist, but yeah, it looks pretty interesting. And he's excited. Like he just said, Keith, this property's unbelievable. Fast forward 2022, Golden Horizon and Golden Spike merged together. Okay, Golden Spike had a trade, was already trading. Golden Horizon had the hot property, and they needed to get trading. So we just figured it was a good marriage. A lot of the similar seed holders in both companies. So that happened in 2022. I would say it would have been spring of 2022. Rob Sinnott, the geologist that works with Golden Spike, him and we headed off to Newfoundland to sort of get a lie of the land and talk to the prospectors and the guys that were going to be helping us out with the work programs. So, I'm not a geologist, so it didn't mean a whole bunch for me, but I got to know the guys, got to see the property. Rob was kind of, he was intrigued. He's saying, like, this looks really interesting, these different areas that we went into. By the fall of that end of summer into the fall, Rob went back and he spent about 3 or 4 days on site on the property with Alex Bugden. And Alex is the one that's more or less doing our work programs right now in Newfoundland. So he spent 3 or 4 days with him, came back, compiled all the historic data, because there was a lot of historic data right back to the 1920s. And Rob came up with one conclusion. He goes, now I can see why everybody's so excited about this property. He's told me many occasions, Keith, there is so much smoke on this property. He goes, I'm excited to get going. And so when a guy like that, a geologist, prospectors, and they're all arm's length. They don't know each other kind of thing. They're all that excited about something. It gets me really excited. So I think we're on to the right project. And that's a bit of the history of the project, and how we acquired it and how we got to where we are today. But now back to your question. I'd say Golden Spike, we're well positioned in a market with a potential high grade project. It's in a very favorable mining jurisdiction, being in that Labrador, Newfoundland. They're very pro mining there. It's, I think, one of the better provinces to be working in. And with our strategic, location combined with the excellent infrastructure, and strong commitment to sustainable and responsible exploration, I think this kind of sets us apart. We see significant opportunities in expanding this resource base through a targeted drill program, which we're working on, identifying targets now. And so, with the targeted drill program, I think, and a geological data, like all the stuff that we've been putting together, all the compiled historic data, our ongoing efforts are aimed at unlocking, what I think is going to be the full potential of our assets, which eventually I believe is going to create substantial, value for all the shareholders out there. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, it's kind of what I think about the property and where we're at with it.
Definitely, and a great gold market so far. Fingers crossed it keeps going. So, with the recent government grant from the Junior Exploration Assistance Program, or the JEA, how do you plan to leverage these resources for Golden Spike's growth?
Yeah, we were pretty excited to be awarded with it. The JEA program, it provides us really with an excellent sort of opportunity to continue on with the summer program that we've already been working on. This is going to give us, further exploration without any additional shareholder dilution, which is, it's big for any of these smaller companies, right? So we're really pleased that we were awarded this. So what we plan to use these funds, it's more or less to advance the summer exploration program on a soon to be determined. We're not quite sure exactly where we're going to go with it. It's more or less right now, Rob, the geologist, the geoscientist, they're all compiling all the data that we've been working on. And this will now kind of give us an idea what the next step is going to be to hopefully deploy these funds as the best way we can. So, and we really, in a way, like we view the government grant under the Labrador Newfoundland JEA program. This is a vote of confidence, I think, in our project's potential. And we intend really to maximize the impact of these resources on our exploration, of the whole Gregory River area. So we couldn't be more excited, and it was such a, nice little shot in the arm once we found out that we were awarded this money. It's really going to help us out.
Well, congratulations on that. So what updates can you share about the ongoing work on your property, and how do you see this impacting the company's progress and value?
Well, let's see. We made considerable progress on the property to date. Recent field work, including the IP and extensive prospecting that we've had Alex and a couple other guys in the field. That's on top of the IP work that's being done. Both aspects of it have yielded some really promising results. So as we now compile all this information, we really have identified some multiple sort of, I would say high priority targets that we're going to be moving towards. So the focus, I think, coming up is going to be these targets with a drill program, and we're hoping to get that underway. We're looking at hopefully by the end of late summer, early fall, and we couldn't be more excited. I mean, there's still work to be done, compiling all the information, all the the IP work and the prospecting that was done, but we know we're going to have some really high priority targets on this project.
So you mentioned the completion of induced polarization, or IP, and prospecting work on the property. What are the key takeaways from these activities, and what are the next steps for the company?
The IP surveys and the prospecting, along with the compilation of all the historic data that Rob's put together, it's been really crucial in delineating all the key areas of interest on the property. I would say this data has highlighted, multiple chargeability anomalies that correlate with our surface geochemistry, the soil sampling, everything that we've done on surface. I mean, everything's sort of coinciding and everything's really picking out some what we think are some fantastic targets. So now these anomalies, they're high priority drill targets. And, really what I've already discussed was we're hoping to get in there with a drill program late summer, early fall, and to really sort of further define the geological model. And everything is really coming together from all the hard work that's been done from compilation of historic data, IP work. Everything is really starting to meld together and give us, our ideal targets. Really, when you look at this property, it's centered on it's about an 11-kilometer northeast, sort of prospective stretch of what they call the Gregory VMS-belt. This is a northeast trending corridor, and it's very prospective ground for both precious and base metal mineralization. And then in addition to the VMS-belt, just off to the east, we have it's like a cluster of high-grade veining systems with high-grade copper gold. And this is occurred just off to the east. And with the IP that we've done, we did some on the VMS-belt, an area called Lode 9. We did part of it last year. We tidied up a bit of it this year. We went down to Steep Brook, completed the IP survey there, and then off the VMS-belt to where what we call the vein zone, we did some IP up there. So now we're going to have 3 totally separate areas of the property. We're going to have numerous targets picked out, I think, on all 3 areas ready to be drilled. And again, we've still got, a bit of an exploration program that we're going to continue on with this summer. through that JEA program. We've got almost another $100,000 that we'd like to deploy, as best as we see fit. So once we get all this data back, we'll probably start off on another program here shortly.
So given the rising price of copper and gold, how is Golden Spike positioned to benefit from this trend? And what do prospective shareholders have to look forward to when considering investing in the company?
Well, the rising prices of both copper and gold certainly advantageous to us. As we focus on both of these valuable commodities, higher market prices significantly increase the economic viability, of our projects. So, it makes it obviously the higher the commodity prices, the better we look, right? And we're going after this stuff. So our high grade projects combined with, the strategic exploration activities positions really well, I think, to capitalize on these favorable market conditions. And the thing that's, I guess, a little bit confusing is we've had these, what I think are fantastic commodity prices. And the market, I mean, we've seen it in the seniors, the money's trickling in there, a little bit in the mid caps, but really it's been a miss why we're not seeing that same interest, into the junior exploration market. And so, like in my mind, I think that we're coming into what could possibly, with these elevated prices, we're coming into what I think is an imminent bull run in this market like we've never seen before. I've been here for 35 years. I think we've got something special coming up here. I think it's just around the corner. A lot of people tell me, they go, well, it's because the investor nowadays, especially the younger and the millennials, they don't invest in mining. They only invest in cryptocurrencies, AI stocks, where they did invest in the weed market back when it was flying. But, I don't agree with that. I think money goes to where money is to be made. Mm-hmm. I think once this market starts to open up on the exploration side, and as I said, we've seen money trickle into the seniors, into the mid caps. We're still waiting for it to start to really go into the exploration market. But it's such a finite market that any money starting to pour in this market, I think, was going to explode. And I don't care if you're a young investor, old investor, institutional, sophisticated, money goes to where money is to be made. And I really think that the mining sector is what's going to happen here next. I think that's going to be the next big run in these markets. So I couldn't be more excited with the commodity prices the way they are and the way they're staying elevated.
Yeah, I think it's primed and ready, and definitely, like you said, commodity prices are high. We haven't seen much movement in the small caps. Just a matter of time. And these are important commodities too. It's not just like some fictional thing or some theoretical thing. It's very much important, especially for today's economy. So as you move forward with the work programs, what kind of updates and results can stakeholders expect? How do you plan to communicate these developments to keep them informed?
Okay, transparency, Aaron, and regular communication with our shareholders. I think this is paramount. As we advance our work programs, shareholders can expect timely updates on all aspects of our program. We're going to communicate these developments through press releases, updates on our website, investor presentations. Really, I say all in all, our commitment is to ensure that all of our shareholders and any potential shareholders are well informed and confident in the direction that we're taking this company and the direction that we're heading. So, I really have always believed in transparency and getting the word out there and letting people know what we're doing.
Definitely, that's what my business is all about as well. So I believe in that too. It's been a pleasure having you, Keith. Look forward to more updates and best of luck with everything that's going on currently.
Right on. Thank you very much, Aaron, for having me. And Golden Spike, GLDS, go Golden Spike, go. It's we're ready.